So you may have just picked up your iPad mini 7. Now, the thing I can definitely tell you is the iPad mini 7th generation is a very good iPad. It's going to last for a long period of time, and I think you made a really good choice by picking up this particular iPad. If you're a new beginner to these iPads, I'll give you a quick breakdown on exactly how to use it. We'll cover everything from the hardware to the software, a couple things here and there in best practices, but the very first thing I'd recommend doing is putting a screen protector on your iPad at the very least. If you're able to, put a case on it too. But these things, because you're traveling around a lot with them, you might end up dropping them or scratching them. These things have massive displays. So I think the best thing to probably do is to just go through and basically just put a screen protector on it and put a case on it. And I think that'd be a really, really good idea to protect this type of expensive type of iPad. Now, starting off with the outside, you'll see that if you actually go ahead and use your iPad, you're going to have a little bit of an interesting time with it. Apple did go ahead and move the volume buttons and the power button this time around, which is kind of interesting. So on the left side, depending on how you're looking at it, if you're looking at it this way, then you'll see the camera bump on the left side. However, if you're looking at it, I think the way Apple kind of wants, is intending you to do it, you have the front camera here. Now, wherever the front cameras are, you'll basically have the power button and the volume up buttons and down buttons. So if I look to my left, you'll see right here, if I go and show you this top portion, you'll see we have our Touch ID power button right here. So this power button has our Touch ID sensor, it's a fingerprint sensor, and then we have our volume up and down buttons on the other side. Very interesting design, but we do have that type of capability, and we have a set of speakers at the very top as well. Now, on the back side, you'll see that we have our iPad logo, we have our Apple logo right here, and we have our camera. So it's a single camera. We can do a lot of stuff with it. I'll explain that throughout this a little bit later in this video. Then you have your regulatory information, your iPad mini logo, and then at the very bottom, you have your USB Type-C port. This is a very nice port to have. It allows you to basically go through and charge this thing up. You can have display out on this thing as well. Then you have another set of speakers. There's nothing on the left side here except for this, antenna band that allows you to connect an Apple Pencil. There's not really anything else on the right side either. So it's a pretty, minimalistic type of iPad. There's not really like anything super insane going on with it, but at least with the exterior, it still is a very good looking iPad. Now to power on your iPad, you can click on this power button right here. So you can tap on it and it'll take you into your lock screen. Your lock screen will basically have your, standard information, your time here, your notifications, different things like that. You can always hold down on the lock screen like this if you want to go ahead and customize it. So you can click on customize to customize this particular lock screen. You can also go through and add widgets to the side. You can change the text of your time or the way it looks. You can change a lot of stuff here, which is genuinely very cool. So I'd recommend for you to go ahead and just have fun with it, change what you want to change. And I do think this is a really, really nice type of layout that you can get on this type of iPad. Clicking back up in the top right corner, we can swipe up and then we'll come into our home screen. So I'm sure most of you probably already know what a home screen is, but because this iPad doesn't have any home buttons or anything like that, the main gesture we'll be using is the swipe up gesture, which will always take us back here. So whenever you swipe up, it will always take you back here. Now, we have our capability of basically having our status bar at the very top. So it'll show us our time and date up here. The top right will show us our battery and Wi-Fi signal. Now, on top of that, another very big thing here is that we have our widgets and our app icons. So if we want to, we can go ahead and change up and we can hold down on an app icon like this or a widget, and we can move it around just like this. It's a little glitchy, but you can see we can move these widgets around wherever we want to. We can also go through, we can move these app icons the same exact way as well. We can put an app icon over another one if we want to create a folder, which is really cool. You can also delete and remove these widgets too. So if you don't want this calendar widget here, I can click on this minus button here, click on remove, and then we'll go and remove it. Same thing I can do with like applications and different things like that. Now we have different home pages, but notice that the dock always stays the same. Whatever apps you move to your dock will always stay there. If you swipe to the left, you'll see all of your widgets, or at least the widgets you have in the side panel. You can swipe all the way to the end to get into your app library. So this is where all your applications will be housed. So all your applications may not be on these displays, but they will show up right here. If you want to, you can swipe down as well one more time, and you can start searching for different applications on your iPad. Your keyboard will pop up, and it works just like any other keyboard. If you want to pop down this keyboard, aka you don't want it anymore, you can click on this down button right here, and that will go ahead and minimize this keyboard. Now, a lot of this stuff is self-explanatory, but you can see that if you just kind of start using it, it kind of just starts making more and more sense. To get out of things like this, you can tap to the side or you can just swipe up. And like I said, swiping up will pretty much always take you back home into this page. Now, another big thing is your status bar and your control center. If you swipe down from the top left, you basically come into this page. This page will basically just allow you to go ahead and just come back to your lock screen, so nothing crazy here. The top right corner will basically bring you into your control center. So this control center is actually now new and improved within iPadOS 18. So with something like your iPad mini 7, it will also get supported here too, which is really cool. So what you can do is you can click on the top left corner right up here, and you can click on add a control, and you can change up your controls whichever way you want to. If you want to add a new control, you can also do that right here, which is really cool just by tapping on it. Swipe up to get out of it, and within your control center, you have basic things like turning on airplane mode, Wi-Fi, your songs, your brightness, your sound, your flashlight, so many other things across the board here. And you do have that type of capability here, which again, like I said before, it is a very, very nice thing to have. And personally for me, I really do like having that type of capability right there. Now, beyond that, a lot of these particular applications are pretty self-explanatory. Safari is your internet browser, so you can go through and basically just use it as your internet browser. Music will basically house your music. Mail is your mail application. Calendar is your calendar app. So many other things across the board. Like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. The more and more you use it, the more and more it'll make sense. However, there's two things I want to show you. If you're inside of an application, and let's say I open up music, and let's say I wanted to go back to the previous app, I don't necessarily have to swipe up and go home. I can actually take this gesture bar and swipe in between the pages just like this. So all the applications I have in the background, it will allow me to go through and actually swing in between them, which is actually a very nice thing to have. So I do think that in and of itself is a very cool thing. On top of that, some applications allow you to gesture them or to split screen multitask them. So if you want to, you can swipe up just a little bit until you see this dock, or you can swipe up all the way like this. And what you can do is you can go through and you can take an application that is split screenable, like Safari or music, and I can bring it over another application like this. I can go and let it go, and it will actually then go through, and it will basically go through and allow me to, basically have two different instances of the same application. So this is another really cool thing that's going on here too. So you have that type of capability here, which again is a super cool thing to have. Now you can also swipe up. You can, you go in between like this to maximize or minimize one. Then you can swipe up to basically go back home. Now another thing is the App Store. All your applications that you ever want to download are going to be available within the App Store. So you can go and open up the App Store like this, and you can click on the search bar that's in the very top right corner. You can go right here, you can search for any application. If you already have apps installed, you can go inside of this app to basically update them. So that is another cool thing you have the capability of doing. And then the big thing is within the settings application. So within the settings app, this is a very crucial application to get used to. If you ever have any thoughts or if you ever have any questions within your device and you're looking for a specific setting, you can always go inside of the search bar within your settings application, tap right into here, and you can search up specific issues that you're having. So you can go right into there and you can basically look for those things, which I think is a very important thing to do. You can also go through and scroll through the whole entire settings application, and there is a lot of stuff here. So you can go through, find your Bluetooth, your battery, you have your general settings, and within general, it's very important. If you click on general, click on software update, this will allow you to go ahead and update your iPad. So if there's already an update available, I'd recommend going through here and updating your iPad as soon as you buy it. This is probably one of the more crucial things you could probably do in my personal opinion. You have your Apple Pencil information here if you have it, if you want to plug it in. Your multitasking and gestures, which is really nice. You can tap into here and customize those things more. And you have a lot of things all throughout here. So I would recommend scrolling through here, just getting used to it, because this is a pretty important application that you're probably going to end up using for a lot of time. So that is basically how you use your iPad mini 7. It's a very good iPad. I love this iPad a lot. It has a lot of capability. And that is basically how you use it for the most part. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.